Big thank you to Levels for sponsoring this video. Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reed, aka Carnivore Chef, and in today's video, we're going to be covering some snack options for the carnivore diet. I do find that if I'm sticking to the diet pretty well, that I'm not actually hungry for snacks, but there's always those off chances that I just need a little snack to get me through. And there was going to be 5 recipes for this, but considering this first recipe isn't really a recipe, it's still a good way to kind of, just snack about. This is just sour cream, pork rinds, and this kind of feels like an obvious one as a first recipe, but there's ways to change it up. And this is just some jalapeno ranch. This is from my company, Carnivore Companion. If you're interested at all, the link is below. While this is already pretty good by itself, we can enhance it. And you can use any seasoning you want for this, to be honest. If you have some Cajun seasoning that you like, or garlic powder or something to make it taste different, it's perfectly okay. And for the next recipe, let's get a little more creative than just pork rinds and sour cream. But I was sitting around, I was like, a BLT sounds pretty nice, but I don't really want the lettuce, tomato, or bread. So what I came up with is bacon, liverwurst, and turkey. While this is a heavily cured snack, it's going to have plenty of protein, fat, and salt to curb those cravings. To start, I'm just going to get some of my bacon, and I've cut it in half just to make it a little more manageable in such a small pan. All we got to do is fry up some bacon. You can also do this in the oven. This would be super easy if you already have some bacon meal prepped ahead of time. That's about how I like my bacon. Don't forget, you can save this bacon grease, cook eggs with it, whatever. I toss it sometimes because I don't always like to hold on to bacon grease. And that's all the cooking you have to do for this recipe. Again, it's meant to be kind of like something quick. If you have bacon already, the rest of this can just be sitting, waiting. This can be very fast. Oh my God. Oh God. Whew, camera moved. All right, no more surprises. Let's go ahead and build this thing. So I'm going to take some turkey. So this is a really weird oval shape. I'm going to take 2 slices, add a nice little piece of bacon. Let's go ahead and add 2 pieces of bacon. I'm going to take my Jones Dairy Farm liverwurst. If you haven't had liverwurst, if you don't like liver or the thought of eating liver, something like this does a great job of hiding it. All right, it's round. I don't really want it to be round. I kind of just want it to be in like little strips. Probably do a half a piece per. Throw that right on top. Wait, I did it wrong. Yep, I'm going to take this, wrap it up. It's nothing crazy special, but it's got, like I said, it's got plenty of protein, plenty of fat. Should taste really good too. Cross section for you. And I suppose as a side benefit, you can call this carnivore sushi if you really want to make yourself feel better. It's not going to hit that sushi spot, but it'll hit that sushi feeling. Get some chopsticks, take a bite, good to go. One of the single biggest predictors of how long you live and how good you feel while you're alive is your metabolic health. I strongly believe that you can't manage what you don't measure, and metabolic health can be difficult to measure. That's why I use Levels to track my daily health metrics and habits, and to ultimately optimize my health. Levels helps me understand how my food and my lifestyle decisions are impacting my health. In the short term, I use Levels to optimize my energy during the day and manage my weight. In the long term, I'm thinking about the many chronic diseases that are directly linked to metabolic health. That includes diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and in the past, I've even used Levels with a continuous glucose monitor to get my own personalized data, which I found to be really powerful to understand my unique physiology. But you can now use Levels without a continuous glucose monitor. The app is great to use in general. I love the AI features where you can take a photo of your food and it calculates your calories and macros for you. Or you can search for foods and add them yourself to hit your daily goals. They even show a glucose chart based on other users' data. They'll help you make better decisions in the long run. Using this information has really made me want to focus more on real food compared to the fake alternatives, because the fake alternatives usually cause a glucose spike in me. Using Levels has personally helped me understand how my blood sugar correlated to my health and how I was feeling at certain times throughout the day as well. It's more than a calorie tracker, it's really more of a personal health tracker. Levels has some exciting features to help you track your macros, protein, fats, and carbohydrates, and it also helps you create daily habits surrounding your health goals. They also provide insights based on trends in your health metrics to help guide you to make the decisions that will help you to have a positive impact on your health. Right now, Levels is offering my viewers an additional 2 free months of the Levels annual membership when you use my link, levels.link/CarnivorousChef. I don't know how long this offer will last, so if you're interested in learning about your metabolic health, now is the time to get started. Again, that's levels.link/CarnivorousChef. Big thank you to Levels for sponsoring the video, and let's get back to it. For this one, we're going to be making some, I guess I'm going to just call it like a cheeseburger ball or something. I was thinking kind of like on the lines of like a cheese ball, which is just cream cheese and seasoning mixed together. You coat it in something typically. But I wanted it to be, more protein than that and have more texture than just, a cheese ball. What we're gonna do is start with some ground beef. This is 1 pound of ground beef. We're not gonna do anything special. We're literally just going to throw it in, chop it up, add some salt, and a nice hit of black pepper. To keep cooking this, all you wanna do is get it brown completely all the way through. And if you already have some ground beef meal prepped for yourself, you can also just throw that hamburger patty or beef crumbles into the food processor, which is the next step. So I'm just gonna throw literally all of this in there. It'll all emulsify with the 8 ounces of cream cheese. Just add that right in. And just a little side note, if you don't have a food processor, you can use a blender. You're just gonna have to stop every now and then and scrape the sides down with a spatula. And if you're curious about how much salt I use, I probably went with about a teaspoon for that full pound and maybe a quarter teaspoon at the most of black pepper. And then finally, I'm gonna add maybe about an ounce at the most of this extra sharp cheddar. I just want that flavor. I'm not really here trying to cheese this thing up too hard. Pop the lid on, and it's about to get real loud. It's not plugged in. I'm a professional. Now, all I'm gonna do is simply transfer this to a bowl. I'm gonna cover it with some plastic, nice and taut. Put this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. While that's refrigerating, I'm gonna take some pork rinds and make some nice pork rind crumbs. Take a nice Ziploc bag. I would beat these out in this bag, but from experience, those like to explode. These like to explode too, but that's much easier. It's a lot thinner. And today, let's use rolling pin. Let's use the rolling pin. So I'm just gonna kind of hold this bag closed with my fingers right here and just start beating the crap out of them. You know what? Let's go ahead and roll it too. Went from full bag to like 1/8 of the bag. Let's get these into like a bowl, because the next step is to bust out a cookie scoop. If you don't have one of these, you can absolutely just use a spoon and shape it with your hands. We'll scoop of this, nice and even. I'm gonna drop it right in. I'm gonna drop it right in. There we go. Coat it. Looks like a little truffle, but inside's meat and cheese. And enjoy this time lapse that's about to happen. And there we go. You can go and refrigerate them some more if you want to. They'll solidify even more. But I do want to go ahead and give these a taste. If you've ever had like a sausage ball at Christmas time, this is kind of reminiscent of that. The crisp on the outside is needed because it's, you know, it's a fatty thing. It's very smooth on the inside, crispy on the outside. And as you can see, it made a lot. But you can make 24 of these bad boys. Keep them in the fridge. I would say at least 3 days, maybe even longer, considering there's so much cream cheese and fat from the beef. You want a few days of snacks just to have, it's a great option. Oh, and don't forget, you can always split this recipe in half if you don't want to make so many. All right, so boiling eggs should be, you know, like a mandatory thing that everybody should learn how to do no matter the diet you're doing. And it's really simple. It's as low as 7 minutes for a soft-boiled egg and 12 minutes for a hard-boiled egg. And a lot of people like to start off with a full pot of water, which I think is unnecessary. And I learned this from Chef John over at Food Wishes. You can take a shallow pan or pot, fill it up 1 knuckle's worth of water. There we go. And I would suggest using tongs to put your eggs in, but I'm a daredevil, so I'm just gonna carefully set mine in there. They are exposed like that, but that's fine. But what we're gonna do is go ahead and cover that. And what that's gonna do is allow steam to come across the entire egg. And I will turn it down just a little bit, but all we have to do is wait 12 minutes. Here I've got a little bowl of ice. Gonna add some water to that. We're gonna shock these eggs into submission by cooling them down as quickly as possible. Bloop, 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 bloop. All right, let these cool down for maybe like 3 to 5 minutes or so. Here's what I like to do to crack my boiled eggs. Hit all sides, tops and bottoms. Give it a very gentle roll. And I'm barely pressing right now. Peel it. And that's a boiled egg. Wash it off. That guy chill it right there. All right, if you don't know the deal with deviled eggs, you're gonna take your egg, split it in half. Look how perfectly cooked that is. Put the yolks into a bowl. And then we can set our empty egg halves to the side while we make the filling. So for the taco filling, I'm going to be using sour cream. Typically, deviled eggs will use mayonnaise. I'm going to go with this is about 2 tablespoons worth of sour cream. Let's start with that. Some of your favorite taco seasoning, or if you'd like a very easy taco seasoning recipe, I'll leave it on screen right here. This is going to be about a half teaspoon worth. And to add some tang, I'm going to add just a little bit of hot sauce to it, just to kind of break up the fattiness. You don't have to use this if you don't want to. The taco seasoning should be plenty. That was roughly a teaspoon and a half too. I like to use a fork to do this. You're just going to take your fork, mash all these ingredients together. And if it's looking a little dry, you feel free to add more sour cream. I think I'm going to do that. Let's go with about a teaspoon worth. Yeah, should look a bit like that. So next up, all we're going to do is simply take little scoops, little tiny baby scoops of our filling, put it right back into the eggs. Ooh, that's already tasting pretty good. Let's color these bad boys up with a little hit more of the taco seasoning. Gonna take some sharp cheddar and shred it right on top, just a little bit on each one. We'll take some of these pork rind crumbs, add a little bit of that like tortilla crunch you're gonna be missing. For my animal-based and keto friends, I'm gonna add just a little bit of avocado to the top for color and for a little extra creaminess. And obviously, you don't have to use the avocado if you do not want to. Little cubes, add just a tiny little pinch to each one. And just for a little extra color, I'm going to hit these with a little smoked paprika. And that's it. It doesn't matter what you add to the top of it. What really matters is, how does it taste? The cumin really comes through a lot. The hot sauce is a touch spicy, and it's so vinegary that it cuts through all this fat. The little crumbs of pork rinds are so nice on top of this. If you skip the cheese and the avocado, you should add the pork rinds because that's how much it adds to this. I'm going to have a real hard time not eating all these right now. All right, for this last recipe, we're going to be making a smoky chicken fundido. If you don't know what a fundido is, it's literally just a cheese dip, like with cheese and stuff in it. Like it's mostly cheese. I was debating on whether or not I should do this as a snack option, but to be honest, if you have any type of like meat or chicken prepared like I'm about to do, you can literally just throw all this in a microwave and dip with, you know, pork rinds or just eat it like that, to be honest. So I'm going to assume that you don't have any chicken cooked in your fridge. So let's bust out the Instant Pot and get started. And for this one, we're going to be using some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. There's a lot of ways to get a smoky flavor with your chicken. I have a seasoning called Smokestack that I'm going to use, but if you don't want to buy that, that's fine. You can always just use some like smoked salt, smoked paprika. I mean, you can even get liquid smoke. No matter what you pick to use though, just season it kind of like you would if you were about to take this to the grill. Seed each piece, get it nice and coated, throw it in the pot. All right, when you're using an Instant Pot, you always want to put some amount of liquid in it. It's just bad because pressure, I don't know. I just do it because I'm scared it's going to explode, so I don't really know the reasoning behind it. So what I'm going to do is add 3/4 cup of water, get that into your Instant Pot. Make sure the buttons and the things are all good. Oh my God, I can't see it. Oh, wait, poultry. 10 minutes. I'm going to bump that up just a little bit. So if you don't have this crazy, you know, fancy thing with all these random buttons, you can always just hit pressure cook and we'll go for 20 minutes. High pressure, if I had to guess. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start it. Once the timer goes off, it'll stay warm because I have my keep warm button on, and it should be pretty shreddable at that point. So let's just get to that point. All right, it should be pretty much done now. I'm going to release it. What? Well, I guess it already released the pressure. Kind of scared to open it now. All right, that works. So get your chicken out. And there is broth in here. I would suggest saving that. This is a great start for like a soup, or if you just want to drink it, you know, it'd be great. I'm going to save mine. And as you can see, even just getting it out of the pot like that made it already like halfway shredded. You can also do this in a crock pot. Just do the exact same thing. Set on low for 5 hours or so, maybe 6 hours, or on high for like 2 to 3 hours. And you should get some nice shredded chicken like this. And you know it's shreddable whenever you can just use some tongs to shred it up. Okay, I'm going to say that is good enough. All right, next up, we need to get some sort of vessel. This is just a 9-inch cake tin. I'm going to use a couple different kinds of cheeses. I have some Monterey Jack and some extra sharp New York cheddar New York sharp cheese, extra sharp. And I'm going to see if I can get away with about 3 ounces of each. So simply take your cheese and just shred it right into the pan. Try not to hit those little knuckles. Distribute it a little bit better. And as far as the chicken goes, you can really choose how much you want to put into this. I cooked roughly 2 1/4 pounds of chicken thighs. And since this is such a big dish, I'm going to probably add about half of that chicken into it. Get that nice and mixed up. You know what? I'm going to shred over just a little more cheddar. Get some nice color on top. It's looking pretty good. So now I've got my oven preheating to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's go throw this in. I'm going to set a 10-minute timer, and we'll check it. And after 10 agonizing minutes, this is what you're left with. Now, it is insanely hot right now. I'd give it just a couple of minutes to not be sizzling. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. Go right in the middle. That's what you got to do. I'm calling this Smoky Chicken Fundido dip, but you could do any flavor you really want with this. You don't even have to use chicken. You use beef. You can use pork. All right. Who wants some? Since you made it to the end of this video, I'm going to assume that you liked the video. And if you did, please hit that like button for me down below. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. So close to 100,000 subscribers, and I'm looking forward to doing a 100,000 subscriber special. If you have any suggestions for that, just comment below. Let me know what you think. Also, thank you to Levels for sponsoring the video, and we will see y'all next time.